Hey, what's up guys, it's Fish here and welcome back to another online battle. Today we're going to be taking a look at Norsca. This DLC will be coming to you guys in the next couple of days. Luckily I managed to get my hands on it a little bit early. So today we have a pretty fun battle. We have the Norscan tribes charging up against a pretty strong Empire-led force, which is being led by Pixelated Apollo. So what we'll do is we'll go ahead and pause the battle, take a look at all the units, and then we'll jump straight into it, because Norsca have some pretty interesting units for sure. So on my front line, I have an entire line of these marauders. These are kind of like my cheap cannon fodder throwaway units, which can, if they get stuck in, do quite a bit of damage. They can definitely challenge Empire swordsmen and all of that type of like kind of tier infantry, but they're mainly here just to absorb the Hellstorm rocket batteries and the handgunner fire that will be coming down as I approach this hill. Then as we make our way back, we obviously have these absolutely bad boy war mammoths. These things are so tanky. If we take a look at them, they have almost 14,000 HP. That is just absolutely insane. And they're armored, and they're armor piercing, and they're anti-infantry, and they cause terror. And I believe they do a bunch more stuff as well. Oh, no, they don't. That's all they do, but I mean, that's more than enough. And you also have dudes throwing javelins. One of the things I love about these guys is just the detail. They kind of have like tentacles from a mutation, from like the chaos waste and stuff like that. They also have all these skulls as well. Like, this is one of my favorite units for sure in the entire DLC. Then we have Wulfric back here upon his war mammoth, looking very nice. He's just sitting in his chair, just chilling, letting his army do the work for him before he decides to jump in. Then we also have some of these Marauder champions. These are kind of like my elite heavy infantry. These guys will do work. I believe a lot of their weapons actually end up getting tinted as well when you get the regiments of renown. I also have a War Altar War Mammoth, because why not, you know, why not bring a Warshine War Mammoth? This thing is just going to be helping to buff my soldiers around it, kind of almost in like making my somewhat crappy Marauder infantry into a pretty deadly force. And again, this thing looks absolutely amazing. The artwork never fails to impress on Warhammer, that is for sure. Then we have a few Norscan ice trolls. These guys apply frostbite when they attack an enemy, and I love how you just have like skulls and rib cages and swords stuck into their weapons. I think that looks like that's a really nice addition. I also have a fire, whatever this mage is, looking very cool. These guys are actually really sturdy. Their skin is just like dragon scale. It's really, really hard to break forward. So I have them, that is my mage caster. I also have a Norscan giant. He again looks really cool. I love the way he kind of just has been, you know, molded for the Norscan wastelands, with all these kind of human shields all around him and stuff. It's like a nice addition. And I think that's pretty much it. Oh no, I also have this unit right here, a regiment of renown. These guys over on my far left hand side. And yeah, these guys pack a punch. You'll see in this battle, they come flying in the flank, and they definitely do a lot of damage. Apollo's army, which we've obviously already seen all the Empire forces. We have a couple units of Knights of the Blazing Sun. They're going to be great at taking out my anti-large. We have some of these swordman units along with these halberdiers making up the majority of his front line, which isn't a bad idea because I have brought a lot of giants and trolls and all sorts of creatures. He also has some handgunners, again a really smart force, along with 4 units of these demiglyph halberds. So he's gone heavy on the cavalry, quite heavy on the artillery, having 3 Hellstorm rocket batteries, and then finally his vanguard right here, or his rear guard I should say, is a unit of great swords. So that is going to be the forces. I guess we'll get on board with my units as they do approach. On the heavy missile fire, may I add as well. We have lots of Hellstorm rocket batteries coming in. Oh yeah, I also have an ice dragon up there as well, looking very nice. But we don't care. We will push up. We are, you know, we are brave warriors. We're going to assault this hill as best we can. My main plan is just simply to get into combat as soon as I can, to minimize the handgunner fire and to minimize the amount of artillery. I say that whilst I'm walking, so it's probably not the smartest idea. Do let me know in the comments down below. As we just see our mammoth walking past. And the second one as well, as Wulfric is leading up as the rear right there. Do let me know if you guys want to see, you know, what battles you want to see in the future, as I'm more than happy to let you guys know. As we have like Numakill charges right there. Look at the damage inflicted on these bad boys already. Literally already sending this one unit of halberds back to the abyss whence it came. We'll go slow mode because this battle does kind of wrap up fairly quickly, so I want to try and enjoy this as much as possible. Obviously, one of the downsides to Warhammer is that the battles are kind of quick, but this is just a 1v1, so you can't really expect too much from it. But just look at the damage that War Mammoth is currently doing. They're insane. This is definitely the most OP unit in this DLC. The HP they have and the damage they have, I guess they can be focused down pretty easily. But if you just, get a couple of these bad boys, then it's, look how many people this Mammoth has knocked down with that one charge. You can really use it to break up formations, break up, sturdy shield walls really, really effectively. And obviously, as well as that, you have, these dudes throwing javelins over the top as well, which is really going to be helping out. The main line, we have my ice trolls hitting back the enemy forces alongside some of these Marauder champions with great weapons, which is actually a unit I forgot to mention whilst we were fighting this battle, whilst I was doing the intro. Obviously, we have my Norscan giant as well. He's obviously fighting up against some of the units, some of the halberdiers, which isn't great, but, he's obviously going to be doing fine because he's more than well supported. I imagine Apollo is going to be getting his handgunners. His handgunners are in a perfect position here just to take down my giants. But, it's very hard because Apollo invested so heavily on his cavalry. He really does need his infantry to hold, and that's not what they're doing. He's going to be getting some good charges off, though, back here on the left flank with his Knights of the Blazing Sun. You can see these guys are going right into the back of my Marauders, running them through. But luckily, I just have so much heavy infantry, so much, heavy creatures. He's finding it really hard. I also get a nice Pit of Shades off here onto the unit of Great Swords. That's going to be reducing them pretty effectively. And ideally, after dealing with this central line, you can see what I'm doing is I'm just trying to push my advantage right here, get onto Apollo's back line, hit that as best I can and silence it, because I need the gunners to stop shooting. Apollo is going to be now committing his great swords into the battle, though. And that's something I have to be very, very careful of. However, the center has been completely broken up by me. My war shrine right here is buffing up all of these marauders. You can see, look at their leadership now. I think one of the units had 95 leadership. Yeah, this unit of marauders has been hugely buffed, and also their melee attack and melee defense because of the war shrine. We also have Wulfric as well, challenging anything that comes in his way. And Cole Franz thinks he can deal with Wulfric. How much HP does Wulfric have on this thing? I believe a lot. I think it's probably around about 14k. So imagine this on the campaign map with the additional buffs to, his skill tree and stuff. He could get really tanky. You can see I did pop down that Hunter of Champion, which reduces his melee defense massively and also sticks him in place for a little while. My complete left flank has one. There are still, a few fire spells coming down from Apollo's Bright Wizard, which is, causing me somewhat of an annoyance. But, these War Mammoths are just running amok. Balance of power is still very even, but, since these War Mammoths have now got onto the back of these handgunners, it's going to be so hard for Apollo to actually take out all my creatures. He can definitely do it, though, if he does still rally up his soldiers. Oh yeah, I believe as well, very, very soon, when Wulfric goes over here, we'll see one of his really cool ship abilities, which basically just portals out a ship. It's really a really cool animation. I'll make sure to try and catch that as best I can as my dragon tears apart what remains of these guys. And again, you can see the frostbite actually being applied to these guys. Their speed is, 3. Which is a very interesting mechanic for the Norscan forces, is basically if you get stuck into combat with them and you get that frostbite applied to you, you're literally just not going to stand a chance ever, because it's just going to do so much damage whilst you do try and stop them, because you can't run away. Once you're stuck into combat with them, you're stuck into combat. We have Wulfric over here. I believe I've just popped off that portal thing. Hopefully we'll see it in a second coming up. Yeah, here we go, look. Like a ship comes out, that's so cool, and just runs through the enemy lines. I believe it also applies the debuff maybe as well, and then just portals back. I thought that was such a cool ability. I thought it was a really, really cool ability. So the final stand here is being committed by Cole Franz and these War Mammoths. It does look very, very good for me. The entire flanks have been ripped apart. A few halberds still do remain, but again, the War Mammoths, man, they're just so good. That's something you have to really try and focus down with the cannons. I think cannons will be really good again. Normally most people just take out the Hellstorm rocket batteries because they're used to taking out lots of infantry. But I think having a cannon or two focusing down these bad boys is a necessity. Especially maybe getting these demigryphs on them as well. The demigryphs got tied down by my Marauder champions, which probably isn't their best engagement. But I believe we're going to be seeing a mass rout any second now, and the Norscan tribes will win this day very, very effectively. Surprisingly enough, though, it was mainly just because Colfran's died. This became a Pyrrhic victory or a victory at all. Because if we click end replay and we look at the kills, look how many soldiers the Empire still had left remaining. You know, they almost had as many men left remaining as me. I just managed to, you know, cause a mass rout. More than anything, and you know, just kind of make these units retreat from the battlefield. If we look at the kills, we can really see the War Mammoths just doing so much work. 171 kills on that one, 225 on this one, 167 on this one. The Ice Trolls as well, 97 kills, 77 kills. Also, if you guys want to see a campaign, I'm currently playing as Frog, the king of the trolls, over on my channel right now. The first episode should be up right now, so do be sure to go check that out. Also, Wulfric as well got 218 kills, very, very impressive. That's epic to see. The Norscan Giant not doing as well, but everyone else pulling their weight. Obviously, we did still claim victory. Apollo's forces, we can see that his demigryphs, you know, 103 kills. Very, very nice. His handgun has just let him down, and so did his great swords. Wow. What happened to these great swords? They just didn't get to do damage at all. And obviously his Hailstorm rocket battery is doing a nice amount of damage. So let me know in the comments down below what battles you want to see next on Total War Warhammer. We're definitely going to be doing lots of custom map battles with Norsca, so you know, obviously subscribe to that if you haven't already. Also check out my Let's Play I'm doing on Norsca, and hopefully I'll see you guys in the next one.